And we're back in the studio. And let's welcome our next speaker, Alexander Shafer, the head of product games at vk.com. Do we have Alexander here? Yep. Hi, Alexander.
Yeah, hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, very good, actually. Thank you. You are based in St. Petersburg, right? At the moment?
Right.
Yeah, same. Have you ever been to San Francisco, by the way?
No.
No. Well, you are now. Welcome. And
Yeah.
we're very excited to have you here today. I know that today you're going to tell us about the the social network in general and the VK Superapp. And
right.
Yeah, we're very excited to listen to your presentation. Over
Cool.
to you.
Let's start. So, hello again. My name is Alexander, and I'm head of product at VK Games. And today I'm going to tell you about our plans of building Superapp on top of our VK application and the future of HTML5 gaming ecosystem inside this Superapp. Let's start. First of all, let me introduce VK. So basically, VK is the largest social network in Russia and CIS. About 42% of Russians use VK every day, and our MAU is more than 97 million. That's why we are basically number one service in Russia by DAO. And for sure, we have games. So basically, we have two different games platforms. The first one called just games on vk.com or web games. It's just a simple browser games platform. It was launched in 2009 and currently hosts more than 1,000 active games. When I say about active games, I say only about games that receive payouts every month. So basically in our catalog, like much more games, but they are not in operation now. But more than 1,000 of them are still getting like profits from us. Our platform still generates great revenues, and our top partners receives hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly, and it's real to get this payouts from social network platforms. It's still possible. And definitely, I think most of us heard kind of sad news from Facebook and Congregate about suspending or closing their games platforms. And I'm proud to say that we are not going to close or suspend our platform. More than that, we keep it fresh and interesting for our users. So, for example, recently we completely reworked our games catalog on vk.com. The second platform we have is Direct Games. It's just a mobile HTML5 games platform. So basically, you can launch interesting game right inside our VK application. It was launched about only 3 years ago and currently available in Android and iOS VK applications. So currently it grows really actively. So, and when I said actively, we kind of doubled our daily active users year to year comparing to other year. So, and we are going to become more and more and more. We offer a hybrid monetization model. So developers are able to use in-app purchases and advertisements to monetize their games. Okay, let's move to the second part of my speech about VK as a Superapp. The first question you may have is, what is Superapp? Like, I've never heard of it. Superapp as a concept is just a single application that will fulfill all user needs. So basically, you're able to order a taxi, buy a food, sell some stuff, buy some stuff, or communicate with people, watch video, do everything you want in the one single app. So you don't need kind of many apps to fulfill your needs because you have all the abilities you need in the single place. It's actually cool. So super apps are more than just a concept. They really exist and extremely popular in Asia. So, for example, I'm sure you have heard of WeChat in China, or maybe KakaoTalk in Korea, or maybe Gojek. So they are really they work. So they're extremely popular in Asia. So, and as I mentioned before, we are going to build a Superapp on top of VK. So as you can understand, VK provides many services natively because we are a social network. So for sure, we have a kind of messenger, we have music platform, video platform, some kind of e-commerce platform, and many interesting stuff. But definitely we are unable to provide all services that user need. For example, it will be really hard and it will be almost impossible to integrate a real taxi app inside VK just to order a taxi. And that's why we find out kind of solution for this problem. We built a platform of mini apps on top of the VK. So mini apps is just our embedded HTML5 apps that are not kind of embedded inside app that are downloaded on demand. So mini apps are able to do like anything. So we have mini app to book a taxi. We have mini app to order food. We have a mini app to, I don't know, to buy a food online. We have mini app to change some stuff. For example, to order repairing of your computer. We have mini app to pay your bills and many other mini apps. And for sure, mini apps are kind of open platform. So basically, mini apps are able to be developed by third-party developers. It's open platform, and anyone can build their own mini app, and we will add this mini app to catalog. So if you've heard of HTML5 games, and if you are familiar with HTML5 games world, you can understand that mini apps are actually similar to HTML5 games. And that's right, the conception is quite similar, and they are really close to each other in technical perspective. So let's move to the next point, why Superapp ecosystem is awesome for HTML5 games. First thing first, and let's talk about the first reason, it's users. Definitely when users will understand that they don't need lots of apps when they are able to solve all their issues and fulfill all their needs in a single app. They will launch only this app multiple times a day. So it's really cool for HTML5 game developers, just because like every HTML developer knows that user need to perform 2 launches just to launch your game. First of all, user have to launch kind of platform. It used to be a browser for browser games. Currently, it's kind of native app where your game is embedded. So, and only then user launch your game. So, and it means that more times user launch the app or the platform, it will bring more launches to a game, because user will see your game in a platform he launched. So that's why we placed the game's entry point at top of Superapp. And every user who launches Superapp on any purpose will see games, will see our kind of small game catalog and entry point to our big game catalog. So more than that, definitely this conception drives high user retention, because you have many services, you have many information you have much stuff to do inside the single app. It means you launch this app multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month. That's why user retention like increased to really high points. So the second reason is infrastructure. As I mentioned before, games, HTML5 games and mini apps are quite similar to each other in technical perspective. That's why we decided to build them using the same API. So basically, if you are a mini app developer or if you are HTML5 game developer, you use the same API to use VK features. It's really cool because because all the abilities that were made for mini apps are able for games too. So the good example is, for example, story posting. So as a social network, we have kind of stories, and the guys from mini apps build an ability to post story right from the mini app. And we are from games department. We said, oh, it's cool, and we need it for games too. And we added this ability like in a week, right after mini apps release. And it works for any other cool features too. More than that, we provide a really awesome toolbox for developers. So, for example, we have a CDN for hosting static files. We have a small Qt tool to check your integration with VK working on local server. So you don't need to deploy your solution on cloud or on real server. You can do it on local host. It's really cool. And we have like many small Qt tools built by us or built by our big community just to make development process easier. So more than that, for sure, we have comprehensive documentation, guidelines, and best practices. So enough said. Reason 3 is community. So as I mentioned before, many apps and games are quite the same. That's why we have kind of a big community of mini apps and games developers, and it will help you to quickly find answer for any of your question regarding integration of your game with VK. So our community is really open, and our community is like really cool. So more than that, VK as a platform supports mini apps and games developers, supports our community. We support our community. So for example, recently we launched kind of contest for game developers called Game Cup. We and our colleagues from OK. So if you want to start building your like first HTML5 game, it's a great time. Just become a competitor and try to build a game. Let's take a look on a quick case of a game built on Dyro Games on our like game platform. It's just a simple puzzle game called Block Byte. So where you can build blocks and then pop these blocks when you fill the line or fill the square. So it was built in only 3 weeks using tools and community frameworks. So game developer had to only build the mechanic. Game developer didn't have to think about kind of integration with VK, because he used like framework that was developed by community, which is cool. And this game was released in mid of June and currently making about $500 per week using only ads. So I think it's not kind of wow numbers, but anyway, it's kind of good reward for a game that was built in only 3 weeks and was released about a month ago. So it's, in my opinion, it's cool. More than that, to launch this game, developers spend about $0 on marketing because our gamers community really loves this game and just started to play it without any advertisement. So, and the last question, or the main question, when? So am I talking about now or am I talking about future? So first of all, VK Superapp is live. So you're able to download VK app and go to the second tab, this tab called Hub. And on this tab, you can find all the abilities we provide to our users. You can find catalog of mini apps, catalog of games, and our other services we provide. So new mini apps are constantly developed by third-party developers, and more than that, we understand that to build a really cool platform, we have to use this platform to build our own solutions, our own apps. That's why we use our mini apps platform to build VK solutions. So more than that, we plan to push in this direction, and we are going to invest a lot of money into it, a lot of resources in general, like not only money, a lot of like development, money, advertisement, and so on and so on and so on. And we plan to make a first big wave of user acquisition in late 2020. So until the end of the year, I hope like the whole Russia will know about new abilities of VK. If you want to take a look on VK or on Superapp inside VK, just download it using these QR codes. So as you can see, these QR codes were generated by our QR code generator too. So, and if you want to start build, to build HTML5 games or integrate your current HTML5 games into VK, feel free to contact our team, me or Lisa, my colleague. So you can find us in VK, in Telegram, Facebook, or in any other social network. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexander. Thank you for telling us all about Superapp. It was great to have you in the studio. And as a matter of fact, we have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The very first one from Datu Yoga Brother. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Do you have suggestion of example of popular game genres in your Superapp?
Yeah, cool. Thank you for the question. So there are like couple of genres that are, so basically many genres are really popular, and it's possible to build like game of any genre and become popular on our platform. But some of genres are small, but we see that some genres are small, more popular than other ones. First of all, as I mentioned before, casual games. So like Block Byte. You can find many casual games in our catalog, and they are really popular. So many people play it. But it's really hard to integrate in-app monetization, and you will be able to use only advertisement. So, and that's why some developers decided to not to build casual games. The second popular genre, it's kind of mid-core RPG, I would say. So you can find many RPG games, even with kind of text graphic, even with old-fashioned graphic, and they're really popular. So, and the third genre is actually kind of communicative games. It's games about people communication. It's, I guess, really common for social network games platform. So you can find some games where just people talking to each other.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. So these the main ones. Okay.
Yeah.
The second question from Oksana Yarasevich. Could you please describe VK support system in a nutshell? What strategy do you use?
Support system?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not sure I understood the question correctly, but
I mean, how is the supporting system, I guess, works? How is the communication going in between developers and?
Yeah, sure. Okay, got it. For sure, when you integrate the game into VK, you have kind of account. You have app on our platform, and you're able to communicate our moderation team through this interface. So you just type a question and submit it, and our support team answers you. So, and we are really we really love to communicate with game developers, and more than that, every developer could just write us directly, so to our group or directly to us, to our team. We really please it. So, but in general, yeah, you can just use tab inside the admin platform.
Okay, thanks very much. And there is actually another question that a couple of people asked. Is there actually, do you accept all the developers, and is there a fee to actually publish on VK?
So we, for sure, we have some rules, and we don't. So, for example, we don't accept, I don't know, gambling games. Yes, where you can get money back from game. So, and we don't accept, for example, porn games for sure. But in general, games of every genres with every feature are acceptable. So for sure, we have kind of standards, and if your game looks like really bad, or this is, I don't know, or if we see a real lack of features, if it's not really interesting, I don't know, like Flappy Bird but without tubes, something like this. For example, we will not add this to our catalog, but on the other cases, we accept kind of every interesting game.
Okay, thank you very much. And there is another extended question from Alessio Bona. What about exclusivity? Can one publish the game on vk.com and on Facebook, for instance, as well? And what happens if you actually connect the players on the two social networks?
So actually, that's why I really love HTML5 world, because yes, it's completely okay to be published on several platforms, on Facebook, on VK. In Russia, for example, we have OK.ru. It's like the second social network, and we don't see any problems with for games for being published on several platforms. So again, that's why we love HTML5 world. You can publish like anywhere you want, and you're able to connect your users inside your games. So the only restriction, you cannot kind of invite users to another platform, right? Not just because we are afraid of losing user, but because it's like it's not cool for user itself. Users don't like to change like platforms they're using. But in general, yes, it's cool. Publish everywhere you want.
Okay, well, that's a lot of opportunities, I guess, for developers. And one more question: what's the policy towards localization? Like, if it's a very short, do you have any policy on that?
Yes, actually, yes. As I mentioned before, VK is really popular in Russia. That's why we require Russian localization. So in Russia, people don't often speak English. That's why we need the game to be localized in Russian. So, and it's really necessary. It's not only about our requirements, it's about like our taking care of our users, because otherwise they will not understand what's going on.
Fair enough. But have you ever tried actually taking on game without localization, or is just like, you know, for sure that it's just not going to work?
So actually, we accepted games with some creatives and some, I don't know, some with not full localization. Yes, with some not localized images and stuff, and it's okay. But most of texts that user have to read must be localized. So we've never tried to. We've never tried to.
Fair enough. Well, as long as you know how your users think and work and perceive things, I guess that's the most important thing, and we can totally trust you on that. Thank you very much for joining us today. It was fantastic to listen to your presentation. And if you guys